Josh, we asked the other guys the same thing. 4-1 since that first bye. What's really changed for you guys as a team? I know the turnovers, everything matter, but what changed inside the locker room that's got you guys playing at such a high level now?
I think just going out there and playing cleaner and just believing that we're going to win, and not just hoping to win. I think it's a true belief that we expect to go win. And when you say that, it's not that you don't expect to go out there and know that you have to play your best, but we just expect to win. We expect that, I think we had a comeback win against Tech and kind of gain some confidence, like, hey, we can kind of do this. And so I think just that belief in each other and playing cleaner as an offense and just executing at a higher level, kind of be on the same page with guys all the time, not just part of the time. So I think just some of the work we've done in practice in the film room and with coaches coaching guys up, and just overall as an offense, I think we've just kind of cleaned some things up, and it's allowed us to play a little bit better. And I think the run game with Savion is probably the number one factor contributing to that with Savion. So I'd say that's probably the thing that's taken us to the next level as an offense.
Is there any type? Do you make any change to your preparation when you're going to play in close to freezing weather as a quarterback?
No, I never really cared too much about the weather, and I actually like the cold. I duck hunt, so I'm out there all the time in the cold and the rain and all that. So it's nothing I'm new to. So I'm looking forward to it. It's gonna be a great atmosphere, and should be a lot of fun. And it's always good to go out there and play in an atmosphere like that. So I'm excited about that.
Josh, apologies if this has been asked before I got in here. These guys play a lot of drop eight, right? The run game's going to be super important this week. Can you work them out of that, though, if you have enough success in the run game to open up the passing game?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, that's a good question. I think teams past we've played like this, a lot of them just kind of do their thing, and they kind of make you beat them the way they want you to beat them. So I think we'll see what happens, and you never know. I mean, we've done a lot of games we show up and people do completely different things, so you never know what's going to happen. You never know what their sprinkle of the week's going to be. And but on tape and history, they have played a lot of drop eight, like you said, and we've got to be able to run the ball and then throw the ball off of that. Maybe some play action stuff that we do every single week. We got to get at that, like we always do, and then just kind of doing our stuff on offense. And nothing really changes, just executing. Trust my eyes, taking care of the ball, and then just getting the run game going really like we have been.
Corleone, their nose tackle's pretty good, right? Big guy in front.
Yeah, really twitched up guy, just a gap filler and really active, really good player. Honestly, their whole defense, they've got a lot of guys that flash all over the defense, so they're really, really talented. And in my opinion, it's one of the best defenses we're going to play this year. And they fly around and they do a really good job on defense. So, their D coordinator at Iowa State last year, and so played those guys, and so we've seen a little bit of that scheme, but obviously they're really good, and they play well. And they've had some games, some scores that don't really tell the whole story. I think, in my opinion, I think they're a lot better than their record shows, and I think we're expecting to go up there and be in dogfight, and it's gonna be fun.
Jeremy gave us a 30-minute history on the relationship between you and Sorsby, you may not even know him, do you?
I know of him. We've worked with some people that are close. We work with some of the same people, but personally, I've never met him, but I know of him. And obviously, in this league, you watch each other every week when you're playing other teams, and he's a guy that I have a lot of respect for. He's got a live arm, and I think he's really accurate and a really good player. So, I don't, like I said, I don't know him very well personally, but know of him for sure.
We're coming up on the end of your first full year as QB1. What's something you know now or have learned this year that you would maybe go back in time and tell yourself at the beginning of the season?
I think just, being yourself and trusting yourself, no matter what happens, and just knowing that, sometimes things happen, they're out of your control, and the last thing you want to do is, try and overemphasize certain things. And I think in my mind now, I'm seeing it in a different way, and, looking back after 11 games and kind of understanding that, just trusting yourself and being who you are each and every week, and not letting external factors affect that. And, I think there were some times earlier in the season where, we kind of look back and wish we'd done some things differently, and maybe, be kind of writing our own destiny right now, but it is what it is. This was what, that's what life's all about. It's a learning experience. You look back on things and you grow, and, I think the number one thing is just trusting myself and trusting the ability that God's given me. And then going out there and having fun and enjoying it. I've really enjoyed this season. The guys we've got in our locker room are really special. I mean, it's, every year it feels like you say it, but I mean, it's a really special group. And just going into this game, last regular season game with some of the guys that I've made such great relationships with, Savion, Jack, JP, just guys that have been here for a couple years. Especially receiver, it's a big deal, and we're focused on finishing strong, and I love those guys to death, and couldn't say enough good things about them, just the way they've poured their heart out for our team this year.
Speaking of JP, we joked with him after the game on Saturday that it seems like every one of his catches are contorted body, acrobatic. He just makes some wild catches. Just can you talk a little bit about the connection you two have and just the plays he's making this year?
Yeah, he's the last 2 weeks he's really done some. Obviously, all season he's done a lot of great things, but the last 2 weeks he's had more targets. It seems like. I don't know if that's by design or just kind of happened sometimes, but he's definitely had opportunities, and we've had looks to where he can get the ball, and he's made plays, and he's done a lot of really good stuff, and so really proud of him, the way he's played. I think back to when you think of contorting your body, the Utah first drive against Utah on third down, I think we corner out, and he made a diving catch on the sideline, and they zeroed us, and I hung in there for him and gave him a chance, and he makes plays. So he's just one of those guys. He's a football player. I mean, you can't find guys like that. There's not enough of them out there. He's just a football player. I mean, he's just a guy that competes every single down, and I'm just proud of the way who he is as a person every single day. Punt returning, he'll stick his nose in there and catch them, and he's fearless back there. So he's a guy that's got just a huge influence on our team. I think his competitiveness and his nature is contagious to our team.
What's the one area you feel like you've kind of grown the most at this season?
I would say just the more games you play, the more you kind of understand and kind of see things a little bit better, and understand when people are playing drop 8 or when you're getting pressured, and when to dump the ball down the back, or when to check certain plays, or when to make certain decisions. And I think, like I said, it's always a learning process, and you continue to grow. And I think I've definitely grown in those areas, especially since the bye week. And I think that just trusting myself and trusting my ability and extending plays a little bit more and kind of being better in the pocket, I think it's been big, and I think that's something I'll continue to focus on. You can't ever be good enough in the pocket. It's always something you're working on, and something you're trying to do to give guys time to get open and make plays down the field. So I'd say those categories right there.
We've seen in the last couple of weeks a few more instances where you've made some plays with your legs when pockets breaking down, those kinds of situations. Do you have conversations with Kendall Briles about when to run? How often do you look to run, or to kind of stand tall in the pocket?
No, I mean, it's all feel back there. You're just reacting. I mean, you can't think about, I might want to run on this one. It's just a reaction deal. And so I think, as you play more, it just comes down to you get more comfortable and you start seeing things a little better and kind of understand, hey, I'm going to take off here and go get 5 yards, or, I'm going to scramble and make this play. And so I think just as I play, I've kind of got a better feel for when to take off, and then just trusting myself. And I feel like, I'm not a 4-4 guy, but I can, run forward and make plays and get outside the pocket and make defensive line miss and do stuff like that and extend plays. So just trusting myself and continuing to develop that part of the game. And like I said, the teams we're playing, a lot of it's either pressure or drop 8, and so understand the differences. And when it's drop 8, sometimes they cover guys and you got to run around and make plays and do what you do. So I think just understanding that's been helpful and kind of been a part of that.
2 quickies. Trent Battle, the comfort zone you have with him being back there, his understanding of the game, his football IQ, does that help you?
It does, yeah. Trent, he's a really smart guy, and he just understands the game. Former quarterback, which is a big deal, and he's a smart guy, and he understands protections, understands who he's blocking. And so when you got to get back there on third down, and you're getting heated up, you've got confidence that, hey, this guy's gonna get picked up, and he's gonna do it well. He's not just gonna get away and kind of throw a shoulder in there. He's going to pick this guy up. And so I think that's who Trent is. He's a selfless player, runs the ball really well, finishes runs, but he's just an all-around back, catches the ball in the backfield. And so having him back there is huge. I'm always really confident when I see 17 back there.
All right, the second thing is the communications in the helmet this year. How does that work for you? We were talking about it last night. There's different approaches. Some guys talk a lot. You know, Cliff Kingsbury talks a lot in the headset,
Yeah.
and others are not. What's that conversation like?
I think some of those offensive, you know, air raid guys and stuff, even before the headset, they were always, in my experience, you know, big on, you know, kind of telling the quarterback what to think and stuff
Yeah.
like that. And, you know, I think Coach Bryles he's really good about letting me kind of just do my thing. And I think that's definitely special, because I think there's a lot of coaches that are kind of control freaks and try to, you know, control every aspect of it. And he's, you know, one of the reasons I love him so much, and I have so much respect for him as a coach, just because he's not that way, and he really allows you to go out there and play and be yourself, and he doesn't overcoach guys. He coaches you, and you know, does what he needs to do for that standpoint, but he's not in my ear, you know, the speaker saying, hey, watch out for this, you know, watch out for this. He just lets me go out there and react and be myself. And then he does give me tips and reminders, you know, whenever I need them, or hey, we got 2 downs right here, you know, so you don't have to make a play on 3rd down. Just take 5 yards, and we got 2 downs, you know. So he's really, really good about those reminders and just helping me out in that way, but not doing too much to where I'm thinking too much or thinking about things that I can't control, or thinking about things maybe that he's focused on, right? So he does a great job, and I love having him on the mic. And like I said, he's done a really good job of giving me the right information and not too much information, which is probably tough, you know, because there's probably times where he wants to tell me stuff, and I'm all for it. Whatever he wants to tell me, I'll listen. So, but he does a great job, and I've really enjoyed the way that new system, and I think it's been good for college football.
Okay, good. So it has helped you, I guess.
I think so. Yeah, I think it's definitely helped as far as preventing some of the signaling, and you know, there's always people trying to take your signals and stuff, and so I think that definitely helps in that case for sure. So it's also, college football is a lot different. You don't get as many possessions with the clock deal, and so there's more people huddling now because of the communication. So it's also changed the game that way, I think, too. There's less possessions and not getting as many chances on offense, but I think it definitely helps